We have a good crowd going on today. This is going to be a fun one. Wow. All right. What's going on? I'm Kevin Kenny. This is the Build Series live from New York City. And our guest today, iconic, legendary, no matter what adjective you want to use for this person, she is one of the biggest names in pop music history. How loud can we get it for Kylie Minogue? Pretty good. The one and only Kylie Minogue.
Hi, everyone. Wow. So cute.
You get that everywhere you go?
Oh, not when I'm going out for milk, no. But
That's incredible.
that's why I don't go out for milk. I send someone else. No.
Kylie has
that's a
people for
very
milk.
lovely, warm welcome. Thank you.
That's amazing. You are just so beloved. I mean, there's like, there's a dozen million pop stars in the world, but I mean, like, few come close to the passion that your fans have for you.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, it's been, they're like, yeah, we are. We're great. Yes, I have to agree with you. I don't quite know why. I guess I've been doing this for quite a long time, and I started on a TV show. I mean, not in this country, but in Australia, in the UK, which kind of meant I was in people's lounge rooms and kitchens twice a day in the UK. Neighbours, the show I was on, was just omnipresent, and I was in it for 2.5 years. And that led to other things, and here we are, 30 years later.
Yeah. I love that you're dumbfounded. You're like, I don't know why. I feel like we have a great focus group today if you ever want to answer that question.
Let's discuss.
You know?
I mean, it's just amazing. It amazes me. I think it's amazing.
It's incredible. I mean, when you think about the hits, of course, and the storied career, and then the fandom here, but the influence is really what strikes me. I mean, how many people, what your first record, 1988, I think?
It was 87 in Australia and 88 worldwide.
There you go.
Yeah.
But that's what, 30 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
I have a clip I want to show you. This is a pop star that you know
Okay.
that you've actually toured with, but this is for a clip from a recent Build episode in 2018. So 30 years after your debut album, this is what people have to say about you in 2018, Kylie.
You don't know about Kylie. If you do, you don't know all of it, all right? Kylie is the girl. She's the queen of pop. Yeah, I grew up on Kylie Minogue, and she was sort of like, she's like inceptioned into your brain as an Australian child. I didn't really realize how much Kylie Minogue music I knew until I opened for her on tour.
Oh my God.
I know, it's just like the coolest, most full circle thing. And I was listening, I watched her show for the first night we were on the tour, and I was listening to her sing, and I was like, I know every single one of these songs. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm the biggest Kylie Minogue fag in the world. I didn't even realize that I like loved her the way that I do. And then I was sort of listening through her catalog, and I was like, oh, I've been loving Kylie.
Inceptioned into your brain,
That's
Kylie Minogue.
amazing. Oh, so cute. Well, she's probably summing it up there, that it's been such a long time that even if you don't think you're a super fan, that kind of you probably heard some of the songs somewhere.
Yeah.
So they've just been dotted throughout so many people's lives.
Such an amazing journey. And you know what? I just want to say good on you for making this record golden, because you're so beloved, as I've said, you could kind of keep doing the same thing, following the same formula, and people would just eat it up. They'd love it. What you did here is you took a chance. It paid off, of course, because the record is absolutely, I mean, it's a dance party that's Bop Central, whatever you want to label it. But it's fantastic. So I guess we can really thank, though, A&R Jamie for sort of presenting.
Exactly. You know your stuff. I don't even know why I'm here. You know
I knew
everything.
these guys were going to be here today, so I had to know my.
Yeah, you're like, I'm going to have my information down. So my A&R guy, Jamie, I spent probably about 10 years with him at my previous label, and we did Spinning Around, On a Night Like This, Can't Get Out of My Head, Love at First Sight, In Your Eyes, On a Night Like This, Light Years album, Fever album, like blah, 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 blah. So we had a lot of success together and know and love each other. So he's one of the main reasons I signed with this new label. And I remember having a meeting with the new team, like the heads of departments for the new team. And I said, so how's A&R going to work? This is really important this time around for me. And Jamie says, you're looking at him, Min. I said, cool. Okay, so you're responsible and I'm responsible. And that's the end of the story. So he's kind of been like my invisible band member. And it was his suggestion to think of a kind of, to try and think of a country element when I got in the studio. And I mean, if you know my career, I'll try just about anything. For better or worse, I'll I'm too curious. I need to just try it. So I said, okay, yep, I'll try some, I'll try it, but I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, do you mean a sample or a melody or a cover? Anyway, we got there in the end. So I have him a lot to thank him for really and keeping me, because as you say, it's a bit of a risk. It's something different. Still, once people get to know it, they go, oh, it's a Kylie album. It's just got a slight different influence. But he kept me on the path when I would be getting a little bit nervous and I'd go, oh, but there's that song that sounds like one of my older songs and the fans are really like that. But I'm so glad he kept me focused.
Well, I was curious to ask you, Kylie 5 years ago, if you're looking at the track list to Golden, what's a song you can point to on this album where you're like, 5 years ago you would be like, there's no way that's me. Like, there's no way that's a Kylie song.
Maybe A Lifetime to Repair.
Okay.
Just because, you like that one? Just because it's really, I don't know what my language has to be on this type of affair.
Go for it, Kylie.
Well, no, I won't go for it. I'll stay golden and just say that it was a humorous look at, where I am in my life. And I've had a lot of people say to me, I relate to you in that song. Different relationships and go, oh, when am I going to get it right? Will I try again? Should I try again? Probably. No, I should. But all those questions you have internally. And I wouldn't have imagined getting away with those lyrics and that delivery on an album prior to this.
Right. I mean, this has to be one of your more personal albums because I don't know if it's the Nashville, they say that's a songwriter's town. Yeah. That must have rubbed off on you because you co-wrote every single track on this album.
Yeah. I had already decided before Nashville was even in the conversation that I'm ready to put my heart and soul into it and really make it personal. And that was, no offense, that was less for the fans initially, but just for me so that I could feel really good about doing it. And it was just a point in my life where, I don't know, it was just time. It felt like, oh, this is a good time. This is going to help me at this point in my life. And then I, of course, immediately thought after that, oh, fans do really like it when you get a bit more personal. So then by the time I got to Nashville, which is kind of 6 months into making the album, I'd more or less made a different album. That was just fantastic because once being in Nashville, I felt like I was at the altar of the song and went to the Bluebird Cafe, went to the listening room and got to see songwriters just kind of perform songs they'd written and tell a bit of a story. And I don't know who these people were, but I'm just, in the audience just going, I'm loving every second of this, sharing your story with me. So then the storytelling element came in and it was just really in harmony with what I'd already decided I wanted to do on this album.
You said about the album that if it was either gonna happen in Nashville or it couldn't have happened at all. What do you mean by that?
Well, we'd been looking for this country element or influence, and we're being pretty unsuccessful, I've got to say. I'd go into different sessions in London and, another set of writers or producers and I'd say, hey, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, cup of tea, yeah. Waste, half an hour having a chat and having a cup of tea. And then I'd say, did Jamie mention country to you? And they go, yeah. Do you know what he means? No. All right, let's write a song. So we just go in and write whatever song. So when I was in Nashville, I really thought if it's not going to happen here, it's just not going to happen. So I arrived there on a Sunday and was starting work on the Monday for 2 solid weeks. So excited to be there, like literally. Arrived at the airport and there's a guy on acoustic guitar singing. You haven't even got your baggage and you go, whoa, this is what Nashville's about. And my friend I was traveling with, we just kind of melted and she said, I'm going to fall in love 1,000,000 times. I was like, that's a good lyric, which I never used, which I might have to do another time. But so the Sunday night, I was on the rooftop terrace of this hotel and I had a couple of friends in town and I was talking about, I'm here for my album and this is what I hope to do. And I put my hands together and I said, please, I just need one song. 2 or 3 would be really great, but I just really just need one song, please. And I don't really know who I was praying to, who or what I was praying to, but I got the songs and I got the experience, and as a songwriter, I think I'll be forever changed by that. Doesn't mean I'll do this forevermore. I mean, I'm still going to have songs about, I was going to say about dancing. I've actually got one called Dancing. But, you know, about it might not always be as story-driven as this, but it's just, I can't unlearn it or unknow it, and I'm very thankful for the experience.
One of my favorite parts of the album is you sort of adopt some local vernacular that you work into the lyrics of the album. Yeah. What is your favorite saying that you picked up on Nashville?
From Nashville?
Yeah.
Y'all.
Y'all?
How y'all doing?
Yeah.
Oh, and I had to keep remembering they're not called scones, they're called biscuits. Okay. And I ate plenty of them. Yeah, that was really, how are y'all doing? I loved it. And there's so many people in Nashville who are not from Nashville. So when I get in a cab and, you know, I had one particular ride and the guy had the thickest, strongest accent. I could have talked to him about the carpet. Just keep talking. It was so amazing.
That's amazing.
But I did end up with lyrics on the album that, again, just would not have happened before. Like, you know, I mentioned rodeo and, you know, when he's fallen off the wagon. There's one line where I say, what was it? God, I can't remember. But there were some words that I actually had to soften, so you can't really tell what I'm saying, because what I wanted to say in my head was, like, say the word done. What he done. And it's like, I don't really speak like that, so I kind of sang does done. So I had to tell my backing vocalists, don't put anything on the end, just go duh. Yeah. So you guys can figure out, you can use the word you want. Yeah, so it was all a bit of kind of a balancing act and definitely going down that country lane, as it were. And then we'd go, oh, that's too far, that's too much, let's bring it back. Then by the time I got back to London and we had the songs and kind of knew we had the DNA of the album, there were hilarious emails and phone calls. And I remember one day, one of my producers who did a number of tracks on the album, Sky Adams, he's like 6'4", big fellow, kind of dyed green afro, and he just kind of slumped in his chair. I just went, just got off the phone from Jamie. Too much banjo, not enough banjo. More fiddle, no more fiddle, less fiddle, more too country, it's not country enough. I was like, it's okay, Sky, it's okay, we're gonna get there. Like, he was being driven mad, trying to find the balance and the levels. It's so important. I think we got there. Took a bit of work, but we got there.
Absolutely. A song that I love on this album is called Radio On. It's kind of a
right.
song just about how music can sort of be the one to save you at certain times in your life. And I wanted to sort of toss that back your way and wonder if there's a song that comes to mind when you think about just a piece of music that really helped you at a certain point in your life.
Where do I start? I mean, just as you were saying that, I'm thinking, for some reason, I went back to being like 14, and Prince was my savior. I mean, when I put the cassette on in the car on the family drive and Nicky came on, I mean, my dad was horrified. What's that? You all know what I'm talking about, right? But you know, Prince was probably the only person. Oh, maybe I had Adam Ant for a minute. Yeah. I mean, there was nothing not to like about Adam Ant. Gary Newman. I mean, I had lots of all that kind of new romantic music, but I would definitely say Prince was kind of my guy at kind of 13, 14, 15 years old.
Yeah, that's awesome. Another song that I think is so cool on this record is Sincerely Yours, which you said is a love letter to your fans.
Yeah.
That's nice for you to include that in the LP.
Yeah. I mean, I've handwritten it for each and every one of you. It's in the post.
Yeah. Hand is still tired.
No one can read my writing. Don't worry about that.
Well, since you wrote them a song and you
Yeah.
dedicated it, I thought that I had to one-up Kylie during her interview today.
What have you done?
So what I thought is that you have such a rabid fan base. They're so passionate. I posed a question today online.
Yeah.
Do you ever use Reddit? Are you a big Redditor,
I've done Reddit
Kylie?
before, yeah.
Have you really? Oh, yeah, you've been brave enough, I think, to do an Ask Me Anything, right?
I did.
Okay.
I was terrified.
So I that's very brave. Not a lot of people do that. So I posted on this Reddit called Popheads, who, by the way, if you've never heard of Popheads, they love you. They're
Yeah?
like, you're like one of the most popular pop
Really?
heads there are.
Unreal.
Yeah, you're a pop head, Kylie. So what I did is I asked him, I said, look, I'm going to be talking to Kylie later. You guys love her so much. What do you want to talk to her about? And the response was tremendous. I have some of the highlights right here. So I'd like to spend the rest of our chat
I feel
before
like my breathing's just changed ever so slightly. I'm like, okay.
You're in the hot seat now.
I
You don't
am.
know what's on these cards.
It's like there's a show in England called Mastermind, and everything goes dark and spotlight comes on. I feel like
It's a little bit like that.
Dun, dun, dun,
I
dun.
should have
Okay.
talked to the lighting guy. Maybe we could have done something dramatic.
Drama.
But these came from all over the world, and they were so appreciative, too. They were really excited to get the opportunity to talk to you today, at least vicariously, right? So this comes from Josh, and Josh wants to know, Kylie, does all the U.S. promo you're doing mean that you're bringing the Golden Tour to the States? And then he went on to go, please say yes.
I will do everything I can
Okay.
to bring the show here. We did some album launch shows just like 5 shows around Europe, and they were, I mean, they were so much, I loved every second of it. It was amazing, including the cover of Islands in the Stream with my guitarist. And then we did another gig where we covered 9 to 5. That was fun. We had a couple of dolly moments. But obviously, I would love to. I mean, it just depends how the album goes and how much you keep pestering me about it, and hopefully I'll be here.
So Josh, don't let up is what you're saying.
That's right.
Yes. The next one comes from Joe. Really tough question. I don't know if you can answer it, but what is your favorite song on the new album?
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Wow. It really depends. I mean, I do like Radio On an awful lot. Then there's a song, well, there's a couple songs on the deluxe album. There's like 4 extra tracks. One of those is called Lost Without You, which I actually cried when I got that mix through for the first time. I was at another session and staying at this writer-producer's house. I kind of just, have a sleepover for 3 nights and work. And this mix came through from the other guy, and I was crying at night time. I was so...
It moved you that much?
It really did, yeah. I don't know. That's a tricky question.
Yeah, it's tough.
I mean, currently what me and my team keep singing in the car is Stop Me From Falling.
Okay. Yeah,
So
probably
that's-
changes on
that's in my
almost
head.
a day-to-day basis.
It
The album
does.
is
It
so
really
new.
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is, like, now I've been doing so much talk about the album, and I can only talk about it kind of 6 months out of, not even 6 months out of finishing it. So I'm still figuring out what the process was myself. Like, I don't really know the answers to all the questions, and I'm already thinking, well, in a year's time or 5 years' time, what's my perception of making this album going to be? Because it's still new to me.
Yeah.
So it's a voyage of discovery for me
Well,
as
and like
well.
with any album, right? It's like up until release day, it's your story, and now it's the world's story. So now it's going to take on a life of its own.
Yeah, and it's just thrilling. It is honestly so thrilling to me that people are responding to the songs and especially the lyrics, and appreciate that this was a bit of a risk. But they're no longer my songs. They belong to whoever chooses to listen to them, and it's magic.
Exactly. Let's get to this next one from Giannis, who
Giannis.
says, Kylie, what is your favorite music video from your discography and why?
Ooh, well, slow for a start. Yeah, so everyone could do the choreography in slow. You just have a little lie down and just move a bit more. Just grab the towel. So definitely slow's up there. I mean, I'm just going to choose slow.
Huh?
Yeah.
That was quick.
Yeah.
That's number 1 with a bullet, it sounds like.
Yeah. I do tend to waffle on, so if I can give you a quick answer, I'm going to go with it.
There you go. Next question comes from Pim. Please ask, they say, who out of the younger generation of artists would you like to collaborate with, aside from Lady Gaga? Apparently they don't want you talking about Lady Gaga. They specifically go, don't say Lady Gaga, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I think she's fabulous. I met Tovlo the other day. Yeah. And
you just met her the other day.
Like 3 weeks ago,
right.
was it? I was in Hong Kong. I was horrendously ill, like so ill I had to cancel my trip to Australia. It was awful. I felt that I'd let everyone down, but if you're ill, you're ill. And so I kind of squawked my way through this show that I had to do. I think I was meant to do 4 songs, and before the 3rd song I said, well, we've got 1 more song. I could barely talk. It was awful. But Tovlo was there, and someone said, oh, she'd love to meet you. So I wasn't that sick that I couldn't say hello to Tove Lo, and we were just having like big fangirl kind of crush moment. So someone like her.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
She's got great spirit. I mean, I love Tove Lo. I think we only have time for about one more question from the fans at home because we have so many great fans.
There's very
here.
patient people here.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, exactly. Sitting through us blabbering up here. But let's get to this one. I think this is a great story from somebody named Imogen online. It says, "Hi, Kylie. I actually met you in 2006 in London, and you said you loved my name. That's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. So thanks for that."
Well, that's an easy way to make someone happy, isn't
Right?
it?
Just pay him a quick compliment. And then, so Imogen goes on to say, "You always have a clearly defined image and style that's unique to you in each album sound, which is what makes you the ultimate pop star in Imogen's eyes. How did you develop the more earthy, rootsy vibe of Golden? Did the boho glam look come first, or has the music inspired the looks?"
Oh, the music inspired the looks, for sure. I mean, but there's been a lot of kind of, I'm trying to just, didn't really think this one through. I'm trying to, just someone please let me know if I need to, yes, so, well, it's, the names that have come up a lot are obviously Dolly Parton and Stevie Nicks.
Okay.
That kind of 70s, but a bit rock. I mean, I've been wearing a lot of boots, which I've been enjoying. So definitely the music came first.
Very cool. And Dolly, actually, you went to the Dolly show at the Hollywood Bowl, and that's like when it all clicked for you, right? So it's kind of full circle.
I didn't know that I would be making an album or with any kind of country link or going to Nashville at that stage, but I was definitely caught in her light and so inspired by her show. And I couldn't believe it had taken me that long to see a Dolly Parton concert.
Yeah.
And so I did go down a bit of a Dolly Parton YouTube hole, you know, some kind of vortex. So like, just send the dogs if I don't come back. And that's the last we saw of her, searching Dolly Parton on YouTube. So yeah, looking back, I thought, wow, that was just so good to meet her. I was totally starstruck.
Oh, yeah, legend, for
yeah.
sure. Well, we've alluded to them long enough. It is their time to take over. We have amazing questions from our studio audience today. Let's get to the first one.
Ooh,
Yeah,
the
right
lights
there.
have gone up.
Should I stand? Is it okay?
Yeah, totally.
I'm Frank. I
Hi,
love
Frank.
you to death.
Wow.
So I know, in keeping with like the Western theme and cowboy theme, will we be seeing or hearing anything from older tracks like Cowboy Style on the tour? By the way, which I have my ticket for on my birthday, September 28th in O2 Arena. So.
Or I'll see you in London.
Sorry, but will we be seeing that? Sorry.
You know, we might do stuff like that in the album launch shows we just did. We chose 3 older songs of mine: "Breathe," "Hand on Your Heart." He's dying over there. And "All the Lovers." And of course, "All the Lovers" is synth pop, but we kind of merged that with. I actually had to remind myself to sing because I was loving hearing it so much. Got 3 hot guys, 2 guitarists and a bass player just chugging through "All the Lovers." My producer and I, we just said, "Oh my God, we didn't think we could love that song anymore," and it's just taken on. It's taken on a new life. So I think we definitely will interpret some of the older songs with a bit of this, but it's not all going to be. You know, we definitely need to have a bit of disco in there and a bit of, you know, a laser moment. Yeah.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Frank.
I'll see you there.
Next one? Where's the next one going to come from? Oh, right here. Cool.
Hi, I'm Scott here from New York City.
Hi, Scott.
It's a lot of fun following you around the world, but it gets exhausting. So thank you so much for coming to New York.
Well, do you know what? Now I'm exhausted.
Well, imagine how I felt after flying to Australia for 2 days to see you.
Did
But
you?
I
What
did.
year was that?
The Kiss Me Once tour.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Worth
Now I
it.
really have to tour here. Yeah.
So my question is, what would it take to convince the greatest pop star in the world to move to the greatest city in the world?
Actually, you've just jogged my memory. I did start writing a song called New York City, which didn't make it, but it's we were singing it in the car yesterday. I was like, what does it sound like? I was so tempted to sing a bit, but I won't.
sing a
because
little
it's
bit
not
of it?
finished. Oh my God.
Just like a bar or two.
No, it's I may get in trouble. And it's not going to make any sense because it's not. Okay, hang on. Just give me a second. Oh, I feel so nervous. I'm going to really mess it up. I'm on the first plane to New York. We could do a real-time talk, that talk. Wait. I've got it wrong already. I'm on the first plane to New York. We could do a real-time walk, that walk. I'm so tired of that talk. I just want to get to you. Get me on a train to the big bad city. Boy, I want to see your face so pretty. Bet you can't wait to slow dance with me. I just want to get to you. Dreams come true and the lights go down. There's only two of us in this town. Dreams come true as the distance fades away. Ba, ba, New York City. And then it goes into a chorus. And that's going to sound absolutely dreadful with no music, no nothing, but it was, no. There's like so many songs that we started, didn't finish, will probably go nowhere, but some of them might make it one day. So what will it take to convince me? Nice apartment, a nice view, and a good coffee place. Because I'm from Australia, I'm from Melbourne, Australia. We are real coffee snobs. So, yeah.
I know good coffee and great real estate.
Okay, excellent.
So thank you.
Let's talk.
We have time for one final question.
Hello.
Hi.
Raphael the bear.
Hi, Raphael. Oh, the Raphael the bear, right?
So I'm so excited to see you in June during Pride. So I already have my tickets. So you were in Tennessee. Did you get to visit Dollywood?
I didn't. No, there was so many things I didn't get to do. I was just working. The only I went to Broadway. I didn't even buy a pair of boots. Buy one, get a pair free. Didn't have that experience. I bought the T-shirt, What Would Dolly Do? But no, I didn't get to Dollywood. I should, and I will.
And I can't wait to get a T-shirt that says, "What would Kylie do?"
Make a little note. Merchandise on the next door. That's a great idea. Yeah, okay, do it. I didn't know what she'd do either.
Kylie, we are unfortunately out of time. This was very, very fun. One of the most fun build episodes.
Look, I'm a
here.
fan of this show, so I actually, to be sitting in this seat, this is really cool. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you so much. And again, the record Golden, it's out and available everywhere now. One final time, can we make some noise for Kylie?